Good afternoon and welcome to Cooking with Mother. I am Mother Tanya Alcoholic. I am the owner of Mother's Catering here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I thank everyone for making me feel welcome in the Fayetteville area, Hope Mills area. I am grateful and appreciative of all the support that I received from friends and those people that I do not know. Thank you so much for all that you do. Well, today I'm coming to you because I'm doing my first episode, woo, of Cooking with Mother. So, today it is a very important day for me, and it's really stepping outside of my comfort zone, but here I am because I desire to do well. I desire to grow my business. I desire to grow my brand. I desire to grow in financially. I desire to grow spiritually, emotionally, and all of these things are wrapped up in my cooking. And so because of that, I want to share with you some of the things that I love to cook, some of the recipes that I use, some of the things that people have asked me about that I was unable to give out necessarily, but from off the top of my head anyway. But I'm more than happy to share what I know how to do, what I love to do, and I want to make sure that everyone is able to cook from scratch. That is my biggest thing. Why make something out of a box when you can make everything from scratch? It tastes much better. You have the control of the ingredients. It's much better for you health wise. So even though today we're making something that is not very healthy per se, you still control the ingredients that go into it. So without further ado, what I'm going to make for you today is cookie pudding. It's a funny story of how I started making cookie pudding because I have a friend who loved banana pudding. And so what happened was they were allergic to the bananas. I didn't know. So what happened was I made some banana pudding for her, and she's sitting in my house grunting and looking like she about to pass out. And I say, "Are you okay?" She says, "I'm allergic to bananas." And I'm like, "You better not die in my house." So she didn't die. God rest her soul. She did eventually pass away from something completely and totally unrelated to the bananas and all that stuff. It was from cancer. So I've had a lot of people in my life go from cancer, but these are the things we have to go through. These are the things we have to live through. And these are the things that, we just have to grow through, unfortunately. So that was my little funny story about her and just memorializing her and why I started making this instead of banana pudding. So today we're going to make cookie pudding. It's a very simple recipe. It's a very easy recipe. It's not a lot of ingredients. It's something that you can do from your home if you just have a little bit of time, because you're going to have to stand at the stove and stir. Stir, stir, stir. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the ingredients. And then after I show you the ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to begin to make the pudding. And we're going to watch and we're going to sit and we're going to watch how it does. And then finally, we're going to assemble one of the 16-ounce cups for it. This recipe will yield 8 16-ounce cups, okay? So, to me, that's a single serving. So it'll yield 8 single servings of 16-ounce cups, okay? So without further ado, just give me a moment and we'll be right back with you to give you the ingredients, and then we're going to go ahead and go into the cooking process. Thanks. So the ingredients for cookie pudding are not very hard, very simple, just a couple of different things. First and foremost, you're going to need your measuring utensils, okay? You're going to need those because you want to make sure that you get the right proportions. Then you're going to need 12 eggs, and you're going to separate the eggs, but you're going to need 12 whole eggs, okay? You're going to need 4 cups of evaporated milk. Okay, I prefer the pet brand evaporated milk, but that's what you'll need, 4 cups. You'll need some vanilla wafers. You can make them yourself. And one day I might show you how to make vanilla wafers, so you can make vanilla wafers yourself, or you can buy them from the store. You will need 2 cups of granulated sugar. You will need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. You will need, if you can't see it, you will need some cinnamon. I personally like cinnamon. You're going to need 1 package of Chessman cookies. And you're going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. And of course, you need your utensils to make your pudding and to store it. So, those are all the ingredients that you'll need in order to make some of the best cookie pudding that you'll ever have. So, this process is very simple. So, what we have done here is separate our eggs already. So, that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to make sure you separate your egg yolk from your egg white. And of course, you can save your egg white for some eggs frittata or things of that nature, or save it for something different. You might want to just have some egg whites or whatever for breakfast, omelets and things like that. But or you can throw them away, whichever you decide to do. But you're going to want to separate your eggs. Make sure that your eggs are room temperature. It works better when your eggs are room temperature. Makes it easier to separate the eggs as well. And so, because we're using 48 ounces of our evaporated milk here, we're going to want to use only 2 cups of sugar. Okay? 2 cups of sugar. That is all. 2 full cups of sugar. Now, if you like it a little sweeter, of course, you can utilize 3 cups of sugar, but you don't want to go more than half to half ratio, because usually when you go more than half to half ratio, it usually doesn't set very well. So you want to go ahead and you want to use 2 full cups of sugar. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to take your cornstarch right here. Your cornstarch. This is the cornstarch I like to use. And then you're going to have 1, if I can get it off, and as you see, it's brand new, so to open it up. Didn't realize it was brand new. Which means I used all the rest of the other ones. So you want to take 1 tablespoon of this cornstarch. Level it off. Take 1 tablespoon of leveled off cornstarch. You want to just put it there over the top. Very, very simple. Very, very easy. Not hard at all. Just want to take that. And you want to make sure you utilize that in the appropriate way. Okay? You put that over there. Then you want to take your salt. Simple Morton's salt. And then you want to use 1/4 teaspoon of this. That's it. 1/4 teaspoon. That's all you need for that. And then, of course, you want to utilize your cinnamon. Me personally, I don't measure my cinnamon. I go by eye. Most of the stuff I do, I go by eye. I really don't measure a lot of stuff most of the time. So, please forgive me for that. Because a lot of times, there won't be measurements. Because I don't use measurements. I cook by sight. That's how my grandmother taught me how to cook. And so, then you want to take this, and you just want to kind of sort of go ahead and begin to incorporate this together. Just want to go ahead and take that and begin to incorporate all of this together. Get a nice little slurry. Of it. And if you like, you can add some garam masala to it. Not very much, because it's a very powerful and very strong ingredient, garam masala is. It has cinnamon and cloves and all other kind of like some warming spices to it. It's very nice to utilize. So you just want to take that and get that like that. And then you want to take your evaporated milk, and you just want to pour your evaporated milk into the slurry right here. And you're going to pour all 4 cups in. And then you're going to put that to the side. And then you just start going back and forth like this. And you're going to get it to the point where, it's kind of sort of just melding together. And then after it gets through melding together, we'll go to the next step, okay? So we will be right back to show you how to continue the cooking process and to make your greatest cookie pudding you have ever had. So now we're back, and what we want to do is we want to use a double boiler method. I like to use the double boiler method because it works out much better. So what I'd like to do is you just get a pot and you get some boiling water in it, and you simply place this pot on top of that pot, and then you begin to stir. And this is the way that you make the cookie pudding. Now, take note of this. You're going to be here for a little while. You're going to be at the stove stirring for at least 30 minutes, maybe an hour. So you just want to stir this until it becomes a particular consistency. And you want to make sure that you take it off right in time, okay? Now, if you're getting any kind of happiness and joy out of this, go ahead and add us on Facebook at Mother's Catering. I'll be having live hosting events there, as well as YouTube. YouTube is All Things Tanya, and of course I'll put those links on our page on this video. So what you want to do, once again, you just want to continue to stir and stir and stir. And once it gets to the right consistency, we'll be back and I'll show you that consistency that it needs to be. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in. So if you take note, we're almost at the consistency that we need. If you see, it's kind of creamy. And as you see, a lot of the bubbles, which are moisture, have evaporated out of the whole pudding. Okay, so we're getting closer to the consistency, so I'll just sit and stir, and I want you to watch when we get to that perfect consistency for the pudding. We're not quite there yet. We're almost there, probably about 5 to 7 more minutes. But of course, I'll probably speed up the video so that you don't have to watch all of that. But I want you to see the consistency that it should be when you take it out. And actually, nope, it's there. So we turn it off the stove, and then we simply take this out of the water. So now, if you take note, look at the consistency of the pudding. It's very creamy, but it's not quite coagulated yet. And this is where you want it to be. You don't want it to cook too much further than this. Now, what you could do to stop the cooking process, to put it in the ice bath. But I took it off right in time so it doesn't get too coagulated, and then it turns into something similar to scrambled eggs. And that's not what we want. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to take some cookies. And we're just going to line the cookies up on the bottom. And this is how I like to do it. You can do it the way you want to do it. Like I said, I like a lot of cookies. So I take that and put that there. And then take this here, move that there. And then you just take a ladle of this right here, of the pudding, and you put it on the top of the cookies. And you cover as you want to cover. And so I'm going to put 2 ladles on top. Then I'm going to take more cookies, and I'm going to put more cookies down on the bottom. And you just want to take your time. Do this the way that you want to do it, okay? And then you want to take some cookies and put them on the side. Because, like I said, that's what I like to do. Because I like a lot of cookies. And you're going to take all of that, and you're just going to push them down on the sides, and you're going to make the sides look nice and pretty. And you're just going to push down, and you're going to fill up the whole side. Then you're going to take some more of the pudding, and you're going to put 2 more ladles on. And after you put those 2 ladles on, bash it down like so. And then what you want to do is you want to add more cookies to the top. You can push those down. Just want to add some more cookies to the top. And you don't want to overfill your container, because the way that these containers are made, the inside is actually going to push down some more. So you don't want to overfill your container. So you want to put that there. And then you just take the top and you put it on there. Now, I'm not going to push it down right now, because if I pushed it down at this very moment, all of that heat will be trapped in there, and I don't want it to be trapped in there. What I want it to do is I want it to cool, so I just put the top on like that, and you just sit there and you allow it to cool for a little while. So, and that is how you make cookie pudding. So, I'd like to thank each of you for tuning in today to watch how Mother makes cookie pudding. And like I said, the cookie pudding can be used, or this particular pudding can be used as a base pudding. So if you want to make banana pudding, or strawberry pudding, or raspberry, or blueberry, or blackberry pudding, this is the base pudding that you could use, and you would infuse those fruit, or whatever you want to put into it. You can even make chocolate chip pudding. I mean, whatever you want to do is how you can do it. You don't even have to use vanilla wafers. You could use all other kind of things. Like for instance, I'm going to make one using the Chessman cookies. So it's just depending on you, how you want to do things and how you like to do things. Get creative and go ahead and make what you need to make work for you. Make everything from scratch. It's so much better for you. It makes you feel better. It's healthier, and you know exactly what's going into your food source, and you know exactly what you're feeding your families. Okay, so please go ahead and subscribe to All Things Tanya on YouTube, and because we'll be having some other shows. We have some other things coming up on that particular show, or that particular channel. It won't be just to be about cooking. It'll be about sex. It'll be about sex education. It will be about life coaching. It'll be about people being helped and how their lives are being turned around through our healing house, the Rest and Restore Healing House. So we have a lot of things coming up. And go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on Facebook, where I'll do Facebook Lives and things of that nature. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And go and enjoy you some cookie pudding. Thank you for coming to Cooking with Mother. This is Tanya Alcoholic Mother signing off. So I hope you enjoyed our cooking show for today. And I hope that you will go ahead and try some of these recipes and let us know how they turned out with you cooking them, all right? So if you'd like for more information, please go ahead and hit me up on Facebook, Tanya Alcoholic, or Mother's Catering on Facebook, or All Things Tanya on YouTube. And those links will be on the page. So hopefully we'll get the chance to speak and do some things together. Thanks so much. Bye, y'all.